Hello and thanks for joining us. This is the signature 30 minutes. I am Obomanu Marvelous. Now in the headlines, Senate confirms nomination of ex-service chiefs as ambassadors. Dr. Akinwumi Adesina says the Nigerian system, not federalism but federalism. Hoodlums attack Abia police station, kill 2 officers. And now the details. Residents of Unity Crescent, Mashafa Road, known as Dogo Block, have returned back to their houses after a peace treaty was agreed between the 2 embattled communities. Recall that Signature TV reported that a fight ensued between residents of Dogo community and Gwari village when children from both communities who were playing a football match had a misunderstanding, which later resulted into a fight. Speaking to Signature TV, a resident of Dogo Block, Amina Mohammed, said that residents of the community that ran away with their families have started returning back, adding that activities have also started in the community. She also said that the boy from Gwari village who was wounded with a stone has recovered and discharged from the hospital, although the perpetrator is still at large with his family members. Every attempt to interview the victim proved abortive, as none of the residents in the Gwari community could identify the house of the victim or comment on what happened. The Colleges of Education Academic Staff Union, COESU, has identified some of the challenges facing education in Nigeria to be system infrastructure, management concern and policies, declaring open a 3-day stakeholder summit on repositioning the colleges of education for improved efficiency and effectiveness held on Tuesday in Abuja. The President, Colleges of Education Academic Staff Union, NUU, Ogrima, says the development of any nation lies in its education sector. According to him, developed countries pay a heavy premium on education, but Nigeria pays little or no attention to its education sector. Signature TV correspondent Obomanu Marvelous brings us the story. The president of COESU said that a 3-day workshop will avail the stakeholders the opportunity to strategize and come up with sustainable solutions to funding, governance, administration, curriculum and subscription to colleges of education by students. He also emphasized on the need to strengthen the College of Education's curriculum to stand the current demands of the society, adding that colleges of education should be more of research and development more than other tiers of education system. He added that the system has been overworked as students subscribe more to universities than colleges of education. While featuring the standard of service delivery in colleges of education, Ogrima called for robust synergy from sister unions to improve the quality of products of the system.
When you look at the nature of our education, particularly with regards to the syllabus at the lower level, the curriculum and whatever generally, you see that there's something we are getting wrong, especially when you compare with some developed climes. In developed climes, they start from the lowest level, choose their career from there, and they are built, and they fit into the system, and they have a deeper understanding. Government has so often complained about paucity of funds. So we want to see what we can do, harness the opinion of stakeholders on what the colleges can also do to be able to fund themselves adequately. If government cannot provide the resources, then do you fold your arms? That is one of the issues we're going to engage. Like you mentioned, we are witnessing the issue of attrition in subscription to colleges of education on 2 fronts. No, people do not even take to teaching jobs again. That's also affecting us because no sooner our colleagues acquired PhDs than they quickly moved to the universities.
Also speaking, the chairman House Committee on Tertiary Education and Services, Aminu Suleiman, decried the level at which education stakeholders are quick to blame the government at any instant without examining themselves to know if they have been fair to the system they've been employed to serve. While calling for strengthening of the education sector, Aminu advised the stakeholders to use the opportunity of the workshop to look at ways of communicating their grievances without obstructing the academic calendar.
I hope at the end of this brainstorming, we should be able to come with an approach on how we can register our grievances without disrupting academic calendar. It is possible to sit down and think whether there is possibility of doing that. And I believe there should always be another option instead of this perennial disruption of our academic calendar.
The chairman of the occasion, Professor Peter Lassa, said that the College of Education lays the foundation for every other sector and hence needs to be improved. He advised the stakeholders to explore other means of getting funding for colleges of education and not to concentrate on budgetary allocation.
We should be able to discuss about funding, not just only through budgetary allocation. We should also be looking at funding for the professional training of these primary school teachers. SUBEX should be able to give money particularly for the training, for the professional training of the teachers that are coming in to implement their program.
The Honorable Minister of Education, represented by Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board Registrar Olarinwaju Oloyode, said that College of Education is strategic in national development, but the question is, how well equipped are they for the assignment?
The application for colleges into colleges of education are dwindling, and there is the need to address that issue. Part of the problem might be systemic. People are just buying certificates and then claiming what they do not have. And because the system cannot check properly, many of them are going scot-free.
The stakeholders said that at the end of the workshop, there will be sustainable solutions to the challenges facing the colleges of education in Nigeria. Obomanu Marvelous for Signature TV, Abuja. The Federal Capital Territory Administration last Wednesday banned open grazing of cattle in Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Due to a large number of cattle rearers present in FCT, many Nigerians have reacted to the ability of the Federal Capital Development Authority, FCDA, to successfully implement the ban across the territory. Signature TV correspondent Chibueze Obi went to the streets of Abuja to receive reactions of the residents on the development.
I believe in every organized society, okay? Like take for instance the FCT and even the developed world, they actually have those in charge of town planning and development, which I believe in FCT here is the FCDA, all right? So if actually they placed a ban on cattle rearing, open grazing, okay, within the metropolis of this FCT, I believe possibly they have been given the mandate or by both authority, legislation or what have you, to actually implement it. So the onus actually is on them to effectively execute this ban. And give or take, I believe we actually have law-abiding cattle rearers that can key into that. If not, then let the law actually take its place.
One, I don't think that there's any law backing that. That's the major thing. And due to the system of government, because the president himself have not openly speak concerning that. And I've not seen the police or the military or the joint task force working towards achieving that. You can see that the Nigerian government is not playing with anything concerning open grazing or Fulani herdsmen or any other thing. So, based on my own understanding, this government is not sincere with its citizens.
It is one thing to say that you are going to implement a particular program or agenda. It is another thing to do it. If the Federal Capital Territory has the political will, it can effectively do it. But the way things turn out to be, I think it's an arm of the establishment that is very, very unwilling to do anything about the hydra-headed monster that is currently plaguing the country, which is cattle rearing, open grazing rather.
I don't think so, because this is not the first time we are hearing about it. So it has happened before. We still see cats, different places, cows rather, different places in town. So this one will just be like one of them.
They must achieve it. I think not on the immediate. Not on the immediate. Maybe a long-term result they may achieve. But as we speak now, you might tell them, okay, don't rear your heads or don't have your cattle within the city center. That they might comply with, maybe partially. But you want to say other suburb cities and villages within the city, they'll continue to do their businesses as a. But in the course of time, maybe over time, like 2, 3, 4 years, and sanctions are being imposed to persons who flout the law, then we can achieve results. But as we speak now, Deborah, it is impunity upon impunity. And if you must ask what is the genesis, it's because of this kind of landing orders.
The Senate on Tuesday confirmed the nomination of the immediate past service chiefs as non-career ambassadors, despite criticisms in some quarters. They are former Chief of Defense Staff General Abayomi Olonishakin retired, the former Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Tuko Buratai, and the former Chief of Naval Staff Vice Admiral Ibok Ete Ibas. Others are former Chief of Air Staff Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar and the former Chief of Defense Intelligence Air Vice Marshal Mohammed Usman. The Senate Minority Leader Enyinnaya Abaribe, however, questioned the nomination and confirmation of the Air Service Chiefs when the Senate had on 3 different occasions called for their sack. Senator Abaribe also questioned why the petitions against the former service chiefs were dismissed without explanations. But Senate President Ahmed Lawan dismissed Senator Abaribe's concerns, ruling that the nomination of the former service chiefs cannot be nullified simply because the upper chamber had called for their sack, noting that this is totally a different assignment. The Senate President promptly stopped any further debate on the matter. The President of the African Development Bank, AfDB, Dr. Akinwumi Adesina, has stated that the system of government currently being practiced in Nigeria can be described as federalism and not federalism as expected. According to Adesina, with the way Nigeria has been structured, it will be extremely difficult for the states to be viable and attain the desired potentials they long for. The African Development Bank president spoke on Tuesday during the inauguration lecture to herald the second inauguration of Governor Oluwaratomi Akeredolu of Ondo State and his deputy governor-elect Lucky Ayedatiwa. Speaking virtually from Abuja on the theme towards a new Nigeria, from federalism to a commonwealth, Adesina disclosed that for the country to be delivered from its quagmire, restructuring should not be driven by political expediency, but by economic and financial viability. He added that in the midst of plenty, states are still very poor, even as he cited the case of Ondo State, which is endowed with enormous resources, but still depends on Abuja for monthly allocation. Some suspected hoodlums have attacked Omoba police station in Isialangwa South local government area of Abia State, killing 2 police officers. It was gathered that the hoodlums stormed the station at about 2:30 a.m. on Tuesday morning. It was also gathered that the situation has created more panic in the area as everyone, including police officers, are now working in fear. When contacted, the police public relations officer in the state, SP Geoffrey Obonna, said some of the hoodlums were gunned down while others escaped with injuries. For peace to return to the Shasha community following the clash between the Yoruba and Hausa in the market, Governor Seyi Makinde on Tuesday morning ordered the immediate reopening of the market. The order for reopening of the market was reached during a meeting with the two warring communities in Shasha, held at the Western Hall, Secretariat Ibadan, weeks after it was shut down. The governor stated that due to the economic situation and the peculiarities associated with the state, he would reopen the market for the traders to continue with their commercial activities. While ordering that the market annex of Shasha established in Iroko during the crisis to be shut, the governor equally instructed relevant agencies to immediately restructure the market and fix up solar lights around the community to enhance activities around the market, adding that government would consider some of the affected traders for palliatives. A hearing in the suit by former Abia State Governor Senator Ocalo seeking to stop his retrial by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission on the same alleged money laundering charges has been adjourned to April 20th. The adjournment was predicted on the fact that the Economic Financial Crimes Commission, which is listed as the first defendant in the suit, was not properly served with the originating summons. When the matter was called, Rotimi Jacobs, who announced his appearance for the commission on protest, drew the attention of the court to the fact that the originating summons was served on his chambers instead of the EFCC. He told Justice Inyang Ekwo that he was yet to be briefed by the EFCC as his counsel and would amount to professional misconduct to accept processes on the matter. Responding, Ocalo, who appeared for Senator Kano, said he has no problem serving the EFCC with the originating summons. Justice Ekwo observed that both the first and third defendants were yet to file their reply briefs in the suit. He accordingly adjourned the case to April 20th for hearing and directed the applicant to serve the EFCC within 7 days. The Benue State Governor Samuel Otom has directed the state head of service to immediately commence the implementation of 30,000 naira minimum wage to civil servants on grade levels 1 to 6. The governor gave the directive in a statement made available to newsmen by his chief press secretary, Tava Akase, on Tuesday. The governor also appreciated the labor union leaders for their understanding and reaffirmed his commitment to the implementation of the agreement. He, however, assured Benue workers that his administration will continue to give priority to their welfare while addressing other challenges of development. And now for the stock market report. The market capitalization of equities listed on the nation's stock market rose by 5.6 billion naira. All market indices closing blue. The market has been on a losing streak since Tuesday last week, but however gained 5.6 billion naira gain on Tuesday. All the market indices, the equity capitalization, the all-share index, the volume, the value, and the total number of deals closed in the positive. The equity capitalization rose from 21 trillion naira on Monday to 21.01 trillion on Tuesday, a 5.6 billion naira gain. The all-share index consequently closed 40,164.86 points, an upward movement from at 40,154.9 points, a 0.03% rise. The number of traded stocks also rose from 289.3 million to 339.95 million. This was a 16.8% increase. The value similarly climbed to 3.8 billion naira from 3.57 billion naira traded on Monday. The upturn was impacted by gains recorded in medium and large capitalized stocks, amongst which are Livestock Feeds PLC, AIICO, Zenith Bank, and Flour Mills of Nigeria. However, the bears led the floor as there were 24 losers and only 16 gainers. Livestock Feed PLC was the highest gainer, while Lasaco Assurance PLC was on the top of the losers chart. Zenith Bank, United Capital, and Guarantee Trust Bank were the preference of investors, trading over 16 million shares each in over 320 deals. On the foreign scene, after several delays, Ukraine on Tuesday finally received its first shipment of COVID-19 vaccine doses. The country of 40 million people is one of the poorest in Europe and one of the last in the region to begin inoculating its population. A plane carrying 500,000 doses of the AstraZeneca vaccine, marketed under the name Covishield and produced at the Serum Institute in India, the world's largest vaccine maker, landed at Kyiv's Borispil Airport. Health Minister Maxim Stepanov was due to detail the ex-Soviet country's vaccination strategy at a press conference later on Tuesday. President Volodymyr Zelensky has faced criticism for failing to obtain vaccines earlier for Ukraine, which suffers from an aging healthcare system. Zelensky has blamed the delay on wealthier Western countries that reserved the Pfizer and Moderna jabs in bulk and has urged the European Union to help Eastern European countries source vaccines. Famous Grammy-winning electronic music duo Daft Punk have announced their split after 28 years. The helmet-wearing French duo Thomas Bangalter and Guy Manuel de Homem Christo announced their breakup in an 8-minute video called Epilogue. The duo had 4 chart-topping albums and 6 Grammy wins. Catherine Frazier, the band's longtime publicist, also confirmed the split. The breakup comes 8 years after Daft Punk was formed in 1993 by Guy Manuel de Homem Christo and Thomas Bangalter. The group released their last album, Random Access Memories, featuring the track Get Lucky, which topped global charts worldwide. Daft Punk was made up of Thomas Bangalter and Guy Manuel de Homem Christo. Barcelona forward Assisat Al-Shahola scored 4 goals as the Super Falcons thrashed Equatorial Guinea 9-0 to emerge champions of the Festival Women's Cup 2021 Antalya on Tuesday. The competition had the Falcons, Equatorial Guinea, Uzbekistan and CSK Moscow ladies in attendance. Falcons finished as champions with a maximum of 9 points from 3 matches, scoring 11 goals and conceding none. Glory Obonna opened the scoring for the 9-time African champions in the 9th minute before Captain Oshaola scored 2 goals from the spot in the 12th and 13th minutes and then added a third in the 26th minute. Uchenna Carlo made it 5-0 in the 36th minute with Ayaba forward Charity Adule scored the 6th goal with a fine header 3 minutes later. The hard-working Tony Payne's 43rd minute thunderous strike after shooting off 2 of our opponents ensured that the Falcons took a 7-goal advantage into the halftime break. The Nigerians, however, took their foot off the pedal in the second half, but still scored 2 goals to confine Equatorial Guinea, 2-time African champions, to a humiliating defeat. Uzbekistan and CSKA Moscow will play the final game of the group later today to determine who finishes runners-up to the Falcons. Before we end the news, a recap of our major stories. Senate confirms nomination of ex-service chiefs as ambassadors. Dr. Akinwumi Adesina says the Nigerian system, not federalism but feudalism. Hoodlums attack Abia police station, kill 2 officers. Please do well to stay safe, maintain physical and social distance, and wear your nose masks while going about your daily activities. That's the signature 30 minutes. On behalf of my producer, Damilola Abudu, I am Obomanu Marvelous Chinedu. Thanks for watching.